Tonight, the war has entered a new and dangerous phase. Ukraine has carried out what analysts are calling one of the most strategically devastating strikes of the entire conflict, hitting deep inside Russian territory and targeting an energy hub that fuels both the Kremlin's economy and its military operations. Just after midnight, explosions ripped through the Black Sea port of Novorossiysk, home to one of Russia's largest oil terminals and a critical point in its global export chain. What followed was a fireball that lit up the coastline, sending shockwaves across the region and triggering immediate global market concerns. Within hours, Russia halted all oil exports from the port, shutting off nearly 2% of worldwide supply. For context, that is more than some countries produce in an entire year. A senior Ukrainian security official didn't mince words. He said this hit represents millions of dollars less for the Kremlin's war machine. But this attack was not just about drones. Reports suggest Ukraine used something far more advanced: its own long-range Neptune cruise missiles. These were designed to break through Russia's layered defenses, and last night, they did exactly that. According to intelligence leaks, the Neptunes did not aim for the oil facilities first. They targeted the air defense shield surrounding the port. High-end systems like the S-300 and Pantsir S-1 were reportedly struck or forced offline. Once the defensive ring cracked open, Ukrainian naval drones surged in, heading straight for the oil tanks and loading points. The sequence was deliberate, coordinated, and devastatingly effective. President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed Neptune missiles were used successfully in overnight strikes on Russian territory, though he declined to specify the exact location. He didn't need to. The evidence was already burning on the Black Sea horizon. Inside Russia, the reaction was frantic. Emergency crews rushed to contain the damage, and naval units scrambled to secure the port. What truly unsettled Moscow, however, was not the destruction alone, but how easily Ukraine breached what was supposed to be one of the most heavily defended energy hubs in the entire federation. Within hours, Russia announced something even more alarming. It claimed that 8 Ukrainian drones attempted to strike the Novorossiysk nuclear power plant hundreds of miles away in southwest Russia. According to Moscow, all were intercepted. Ukraine has not commented, but this accusation opens a dangerous new chapter. Each side has repeatedly claimed the other is targeting nuclear infrastructure. Each accusation raises the stakes. Each denial leaves the world guessing. As the sun rose, analysts across Europe described last night's events as a geopolitical earthquake. Hitting an oil terminal is not just a blow to Russia's military finances. It is a global economic shock. Energy experts warned that even a temporary halt in Novorossiysk's operations could weaken supply lines worldwide, raise oil prices, and drag international markets into uncertainty. For ordinary Russians, the implications are immediate: reduced export revenue, pressure on the ruble, and a government forced to defend not just the front line, but the heart of its own infrastructure. For Ukraine, this is a strategic message. Nowhere is untouchable. Not anymore. Inside the Kremlin, tensions are rising. Hardliners are demanding retaliation. Moderates warn that striking back too aggressively could provoke direct Western involvement. And the military must now admit something it hoped to hide: that Ukraine's long-range strike capability is evolving faster than Russia can adapt. Tonight, the conflict stands at a crossroads. Ukraine has demonstrated it can cripple Russia's energy economy from afar. Russia is desperate to prove it still maintains control. The world is watching to see whether this escalation becomes a one-off strike, or the beginning of a new phase in the war, where both nations target critical infrastructure deep behind enemy lines. And as both sides trade accusations over nuclear facilities, the risk of miscalculation grows. One mistake, one interception that fails, one strike too close to a reactor. That is how regional conflicts become global crises. For now, the fires in Novorossiysk are dying down, but the consequences are only beginning. Ukraine insists it will continue to strike Russia's war economy wherever necessary. Moscow vows it will respond, and caught in the middle in a global energy system now shaken by the reality that this war can reach far beyond the battlefield. Brit News will keep tracking every development. This story is moving fast, and the next 24 hours will reveal whether this strike becomes a turning point or the spark for something far more dangerous. Stay alert, stay safe, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a major update.